Ben, I'm coming to you from Hurricane Ian in Florida, and it's atrocious here.
It's a bit windy here as well,
oh my
John.
God, we have debris.
It's a
The
bit
storm
windy
surge.
here.
Oh my God. Oh no. It's disaster. It's a disaster.
Disney World's closed. Universal is closed. It's all going wrong, John.
Sorry. Sorry, I'm finished now.
Did you just get told off?
Yes, it did, for making too much noise.
You got told off for making too much noise.
Yes, I did.
The things we do, eh? The things we do for our audience.
Oh, indeed. Yes, well, as you can see, and before we even start the show, Hurricane Ian has made landfall in Florida.
It has, yeah.
But Cat 4.
Yeah, so shall I...
And now... shall we introduce the show first?
Well, yeah, okay, introduce the show.
Okay, so welcome one and all to this episode 130. 130 from Dissent Live, brought to you by me, the man on the shores of Lake Sarasota in Florida, and from Ben in the studio in this fair country we once called England.
You know what? I wish I had a more powerful fan, because that was a bit of an anticlimax in here, wasn't it? Like, my hair was blowing around, but...
Yeah. Well, my hair wasn't blown around because it probably needs a wash.
Well, and how do there, Militant Mushroom, as you say in the chat. So
yeah. I'll do, lad.
So, John, I'll get straight into it. I'll put it on the screen for people. So, here we go.
Yeah, let's do that.
So, the Hurricane Ian has weakened after making landfall in Florida.
Hurricanes do, don't they? Because they're powered by hot water and cold air. So if they're not got any source of hot water, they have no option but to weaken.
So I'll read this statement here from Twitter. It says, Ian has weakened to Category 1 storm after it made its initial landfall in Florida on Wednesday with winds just shy of Category 5. According to the National Hurricane Center, the center has also said Ian's storm surge, winds and flooding have been catastrophic. More than 2 million Florida residents have lost power, with more outages expected as the storm continues on its path. The South Florida Sun Sentinel says the hurricane also knocked out power for 11 million people across Cuba.
Do we mind about Cuba? I thought Americans didn't bother about Cuba.
I mean, I'm quite fond of in Havana. Yeah, I'm quite fond of the Cubans. I think they're culturally enriched people, John. They've suffered They've suffered greatly, but I think they are, smiling still. Maybe, I don't know. But
Indeed.
Whoa!
And I'm back in the studio, just like that.
That was amazing. You did some teleportation there, John.
I did. Zipped out to Florida just for you guys, and now I'm back. I'm back, baby.
I mean, how did you get in? They've still got travel restrictions, John.
Teleportation, Ben. They haven't closed that loophole.
I mean, it's all right how the other half live over there, right?
Yeah. Teleportation and travel. Both those loopholes are still to be closed.
Oh, well, fantastic.
Are you there?
I'm here. I'm here.
Right, so Hurricane Ian's given Florida a bit of a pace thing, but it could be worse. I don't think it's another Andrew.
No, and like I said, the Walt Disney World shut their parks out of an abundance of caution.
No. Every time there's a hurricane, they always shut the parks. Everybody shuts their parks.
Universal Studios, SeaWorld.
They all do the same, and the same as when there's lightning. They'll stop all the elevated rides.
They say I went back when Magic Kingdom had a cable car, because it doesn't have a cable car anymore. We were actually up in the cable car during a major lightning storm, and they just left us hanging there, John.
Yeah, I'm not sure how that would work if you get hit.
Yeah, it was relatively scary. I'm not gonna lie.
I can imagine it would be.
They just left us hanging in the air over the park, over Fantasyland, and we were fuck.
Yeah, maybe that's why they took the cable car away, because they didn't know what to do with it.
Yeah, I mean, it was taken away in the 90s. I was a small child at the time, so I was terrified, John.
Yeah.
Terrified.
Yeah.
But, it is what it is, and
Yeah,
I'm
yes,
still
it is.
here.
It is what it is. It is what it is indeed. Indeed.
Well, I'm still here, so
Yeah.
I didn't die. So the question is, the question of the afternoon for you, John, is this: do we have a list?
Well, we do have a list, but before we even dig into the list, let's quickly revisit yesterday's top item, which was sabotage on the Nord Stream.
Yes, let's talk about that for a minute, shall we?
Yeah, let's do, because apparently the US State Department has offered to help Denmark investigate the cause of the explosions. Hello?
So, having thought about it,
are they going to look to their own military?
No, having thought about it, John, I don't think it was the US that did it.
Who do you think it was?
I think it was the Ukrainians using the British undersea drones that they were given.
No.
Think...
Well, who was playing with undersea drones? The US?
Yeah, but the Ukrainians have undersea drones. They were given to them by the Brits.
Nah. Yeah, right. One, how well do you think a British undersea drone is going to work, considering we can't even build an aircraft carrier?
Okay, yeah, I'll give you that.
Yeah,
I'll give you that.
So no, this you're not going to change my mind here.
Okay.
This was the Americans, and they're just playing the game now. And the Times is going along with it. Russia bombs its. Russia has exploded. According to the Times, that's got it all planned out. Russia placed explosives there many weeks ago.
Oh, did they?
If not months.
Yeah, okay.
And then just exploded at an expedient time. Yeah, Russia really did that.
I don't think so. Okay, I honestly...
Oh no, I think it was Russia.
I honestly don't think it was Russia.
Putin!
I don't think Russia's got anything to gain from it, because it was the only leverage they had to try and get sanctions released.
Who has anything to gain from it?
No, well, the United States.
United States, United Kingdom.
Yep. And also countries like Poland have something to gain, because obviously Poland was pretty pissed off with the Nord Stream, especially the Nord Stream 2. Who's
been bad on the West? Who's been a naughty country?
Well, America's always a naughty country.
No. In Europe, Germany's been a naughty country.
Why, what have they done now?
Because Germany have been slackening off the sanctions.
Yes.
Because they wanted to keep getting gas from Russia. So they've been slackening the sanctions off. And then suddenly, boom, someone blows up the pipeline. So, yeah, Putin would blow up the pipeline when Germany's making bold claims to slacken off sanctions. So Putin goes and blows up the pipeline so as they apply them harder. Yeah, that makes sense.
It doesn't make any sense whatsoever, because, like I said, it was their only bargaining chip to get sanctions released, or at least relaxed.
One of them, yeah.
And it was their major bargaining chip. And why would they go and blow up their own major bargaining chip? It just logically, it makes no sense.
Well, why blow the pipeline up when you have another thing at the end called a stopcock, and you can just turn the gas off?
Turn it off. Turn the gas off.
I mean, and let's get this straight. They spent months, if not weeks, getting new turbines or refurbished ones from Canada brought over and then shipped in through Germany and all that, and then installing them and then getting them up and running, and then saying another one was broken. Now, okay, some of that might be in theatre, but you're not going to do that if your intention is to blow the pipeline.
I agree with you. Now, I don't know who did it. I mean, I've got a pretty good idea. You think it's USA. I think it's probably Ukraine.
I think it's US. No, Ukraine don't have the sensibility to do that, and they don't have the wherewithal, and they don't have the capability to operate in the Baltic, especially when the place is
but then we're talking a sea. Outlier,
we're talking a sea that is patrolled by both Russia and NATO.
Listen, we're the other outlier here is Poland, because they were about to lose billions upon billions in transit fees for the gas because of the Nord Stream 2. Now, Poland are going to benefit greatly from this.
Yeah.
So
it's definitely the States.
Well, I think it could be a conglomeration of people. That is the other
Well,
option.
yeah, let's just say it's
a lot
the
of
West.
people benefit.
It certainly wasn't Russia.
I tell you
that's
who
for sure.
doesn't benefit and probably had nothing to do with it: Germany. Because they don't benefit from it at all.
Well, Germany are harmed by this.
Yeah?
So Germany and Russia didn't do it.
No, I completely agree with you. And so it's now a whodunit that will probably last forever. But we shall see. And I imagine that the Americans will come up with, oh, it was Russia.
Yeah, of course they will. Oh, the CIA will come out with some shite about it being Russia, yeah.
Because let's face it, every single government on this planet lies to its people. So let's not pretend that they don't. Let's not pretend that just because it's the USA, they're going to tell you the truth. Dr. Anthony Fauci, Dr. Deborah Birx finally going on record and saying we might have overplayed our hand on some of these things and we might have slightly exaggerated things to you.
Yeah.
And in other words, lied. They lied.
Well, they did, yeah. I mean, they've all done it. They've all done it. Our own government's done it.
Your media establishments do it. I mean, look, once again, harkening back to yesterday's show, look at all of the medical misinformation still sitting on the YouTube channels of mainstream media websites. Stuff that we know now to be objectively false.
Yeah.
And they probably knew at the time was objectively false as well.
And stuff that we knew at the stuff that we suspected at the time was objectively true was censored.
Absolutely. And still, my personal YouTube channel, still, they will not respond to my emails, despite the fact they have changed their policies to say that the stuff that I said is perfectly acceptable. So at that point, they should be handing me back my goddamn channel.
Yeah, they won't.
No, of course they won't.
Well, yeah, I mean, they won't, because when you did it, it wasn't.
Even though it was still true.
It doesn't matter. You still committed a crime in their eyes.
A sin.
No, if you think about it, right? So if the law says you can't do something and you do something, you have committed a crime. If the law then changes, right, and you do something, you have not committed a crime, therefore you don't get punished. But you still get punished for the crime you committed when it was the law. Well, and that's how YouTube will look at it.
Well, I think that
so you can kiss your channel goodbye.
Okay, but then so let's then say, okay, well, you did that then, you shouldn't have done that then, even though it was complete right. You can now do it, so therefore you can have a new one. No, they're not going to do that, are they?
But that's not their policy. Their policy is if you're banned, you're banned. That's it. You're always banned.
And that's why I don't own this channel.
That's why you
own a YouTube channel.
That's why you're a guest on my channel.
Exactly right. Shall we move on, John?
Right, guest, move on.
What do you want to move on to?
Do you want to roll VT or do you not want to bother?
Shall I roll a VT?
Yeah, give them a little bit of a rave. It's only a minute.
Just have a little bit of a bop.
Have a bop.
VT. Okay, so what have we got today then, John?
Fatal Flu. Fatal Flu is coming this winter. It's going to be Twindemic.
Yes, indeed. I don't think you actually gave me a link for this, so we shall just talk about it.
Well, I think the link's there, mate.
I'm doing an Adam.
Are you pulling an Adam on me? For fuck's sake.
Hold on, give me a sec.
See the words Fatal Flu? See that thing under it in blue? That would be the link.
Hold on.
Jesus. Oh my fucking hell. I take back everything I just said.
We're there.
There you go.
We're there. Here we go. A potentially fatal strain of flu currently in circulation worldwide could be more of a threat to public health than Coup this winter, a senior government health advisor has warned. And what do we think to that?
Hold on a minute. Let's just, rather than what we think about this, we'll just take it as read that this is happening, okay? Yep. And we'll just take this. We'll take the narrative on face value until we can prove otherwise. But yeah, that's fine. So Fatal Flu's coming. Go out there, get your 2 2 trees. Okay. But let's revisit recent history, if we may, about the flu.
Okay.
What happened to the flu in 2020?
Well, it disappeared.
It disappeared.
It disappeared.
There was very, very, very few flu deaths, and nobody mentioned the flu.
No, nobody mentioned it.
Apart from us, who were saying, "Where is the flu? It has gone."
That's right, Natasha. Natasha in our chat says it's been on its holidays.
Yes, and then in 2021, what happened to the flu?
It kind of came back.
Did it? Did it really?
Kind of. You kind of heard about a little bit of flu. But
yeah, and well, so 2021, 2022 was this year, and really we didn't have a lot of flu, did we? So it's coming back with a vengeance now for 2020, for 2022, 23. It's going to come back with a vengeance.
Yes, it is.
So be afraid, be very afraid, because the flu is coming to get you. It's a twindemic.
Yeah.
It's either the flu or the coup is going to get you.
Right, well, listen, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a scientist. We always have to preface it with that. And also, I will go right up and say, and people might not like me saying this, and I don't care. If you want to go and get your vaccines for anything.
Your choice.
Your choice. Your body.
Your body.
You
your
go
choice.
and do what you want. But as long as you are not treated disrespectfully or discriminated against for making a choice to the contrary, that's all my worry is. And that's what we experienced for the last year and a half.
Stop being so fucking reasonable. Just go out there and get it. Get it.
Well, do what you want. It's your body at the end of the day. I have absolutely no issues with people. And I'm going to go one further. Don't bloody well tell me about it. All of these people on social media sharing their, oh, look, I'm getting a medical treatment. I don't care. I don't care.
Okay. Calm down, dear. Calm down.
It's everywhere, all of the time.
As they would say in Andor, maybe you need a rest.
I'm just so sick of it.
In fact, it was always. Do you remember that part when he goes, "Okay, dear, maybe you need a rest"? It was like, keep your knickers on, love.
Keep your knickers in a. Don't get your knickers in a twist, honey.
Yeah, don't get your knickers in a bunch. Right. Talking of knickers and actors, the coup that never was.
Aha, yes.
So somebody popped up the other day on a visit, didn't he?
Yes.
Who was this chap that popped up on a visit? It was...
Hold on, give me a second.
Xi
Jinping! There he is! There he is! So, that really did, it trended for a couple of days, really. Hashtag China coup. Look at this tweet here from AZ Military 1. They forgot to tell Xi Jinping that he was overthrown and put under house arrest. And he came to the exhibition, The Formation of a New Era in Beijing.
And it's definitely him. I mean, even though he is wearing a mask, you know it's him because no one else looks like Winnie. He walks like Winnie the Pooh. He talks like Winnie the Pooh. He is Winnie the Pooh. He is a living embodiment of Winnie the Pooh. And there's the ear in the background. Did you see him? Anyway, so yeah. So the coup that never. And that musical interlude brought to you by our very own resident guitarist.
Well, I didn't have a pick. Oh, I found it.
Oh, yeah.
I found it.
Oh, he's found his pick. Thank God. He was moaning about that last night. He was moaning about that last night.
Shall I do it again?
Right. No, don't do it again.
Winnie the Pooh. Winnie the
Right, okay, don't start
But no,
singing. Don't start singing in your minutes to
look,
the top singer style.
It trended for days.
It did. Yeah, and the thing that got me is actual mainstream media channels picked it up, like, the was it the Star of India and things like that. And why would they do that?
I don't know.
Why did these people give this any kind of lip service?
I don't know. I honestly don't know. It was so...
We didn't. Why didn't we give it lip service? Because we're conspiracy theorists, aren't we?
I mean, we did. We had a laugh about it, didn't we? We did.
Yeah, but we should have been going, there's been a coup in China. The regime is falling. Everything's going to change. We'll be going to war with Taiwan. But we did nothing. We did none of that.
No,
why not?
Because it was funny.
Why not? Why did we not do it? In fact, all we did was make a short about him getting escorted to house arrest.
With me playing the Winnie the Pooh soundtrack on guitar, yeah.
And you really want to go and have a look at that.
It's good fun, that.
It's only 20-odd seconds.
It is funny.
It's funny.
I released a funny video yesterday, didn't I, John? Or last night, late last night.
Oh, but young Izzy. Young Izzy's a bit misguided, though, isn't she?
Oh, poor young. You know what? I'd love to have Izzy Cook on the show. I'd love to have a conversation.
How dare you!
Oh, those climate change activists say the darndest things, don't they,
They
John?
do. And what was it that Izzy said? Well, I tell you what. Let me set this up for you. So Izzy's on a radio phone in Australia, and
Yes.
she's a climate activist, and she organises strikes at schools, which
Yeah.
is something that
How dare you!
that young lady started.
So Izzy wants to be the Australian Greta, by the sound of it.
She does. So she's on this phone in, and the Australian journal is talking to her and asking her about what we should do to cut down carbon footprints. Should we have to ask for permission to take long haul flights, for example? And then she asks her, you know,
Can I
like
go
for
to
instance,
Fiji?
no, yeah, well, no. She asked her, should I take a flight to Fiji in the current climate crisis? And young Izzy says, no, in the current climate crisis, I don't think you should. And Ben, what then happened?
So the radio host turns around to young Izzy and says, when was the last time you were on a plane, Izzy?
Oh, it was a few months ago, Ben.
And where did you go?
Fiji.
Hilarity ensues. The radio host, she cannot hold it together. It's absolutely hilarious.
And why did you go to Fiji?
Oh, because my parents made me. I didn't want to go.
And did you have a bad time in Fiji?
Not really.
When you came back to Fiji?
Well, if my parents forced me again, I suppose I'd have to take one for the climate team.
Yeah, so are you going to make some more strikes at school?
Yeah, very soon. Yeah, very, very soon. I love the question that the radio host asked her, though. Are you not embarrassed that your parents made you do that? Are you not embarrassed that your parents are being so bad to the climate?
Not really.
I
quite liked Fiji.
I just want to go to the question in the chat that asks, where is the banjo? It is on my bedroom wall, and I am trying to learn to play it because it's left-handed, so I have to
Tried to learn to play it telepathically.
I have to completely learn to play an instrument the other way around. But once I get there, it could be a while, it could be months, but I will I will continue to try. But,
okay.
Okay, indeed. Okay.
Let's play darts.
Let's play.
So allegedly NASA were playing darts, weren't they?
Yeah, you can see here on the screen right now.
Yeah, they threw a dart at an asteroid.
They did. Look, there it is.
So basically, I think they're trying to divert this asteroid by kinetic impact.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm a bit dubious about this whole thing.
Why do you say that?
Well, right. So you're going to divert an asteroid by kinetic impact. How heavy is this object that they threw into the asteroid?
Well, I'm not going to lie to you. Looking at, if we're to believe the footage that's on the screen right now, that asteroid's pretty fucking small.
It's a lot bigger than Dart, though, and it'll be a lot heavier.
Yeah, it's a lot bigger and a lot heavier than Dart, but
yeah. So most of the kinetic impact will not deviate it from its journey too much. Now, the second thing is, this apparently is 6.7 million miles away from the Earth. 6.7 million miles away. Now,
that's pretty big distance, John.
Yeah. So this satellite that they're crashing into, this asteroid,
yep,
is on a one-way suicide mission.
Yeah.
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 Now, I haven't looked this up, and I'm going to have to at some point, but how much power does it take to make a signal go 6.7 million miles?
See, John, I do have an answer for that question, but you won't like it.
Go on.
I don't know.
Well,
That's
I
it.
think
That's the
I think
answer.
that's not a very good answer. So we can work that out, and some of you, electric magnetic physicists out there should be able to tell me that, because I think, bearing in mind the inverse square law and the amount of power that's going to be required to send a signal back to Earth from 6.7 million miles away with data, right? Because it's not just an audio signal or a transmission, going beep beep. It's a data signal with video in it, or images. They're probably not moving video. So I'd like to know exactly how much power it needs to do that, because allegedly they did it from the moon, which is only 250,000 miles away. And when you work out that, it needed an incredible amount of power, which I'm not sure that they actually had.
Well, I couldn't tell you is the answer. I don't know, and I'm not an astrophysicist, John.
Yeah, well, neither am I, but I can still tell what a woman is.
Yeah, but who
What
really
the hell
can't?
happened there?
Well, the screens went a bit janky, but we got
Yeah,
it back.
didn't they just? Right. Okay, so so I'm not convinced by NASA's DART mission. It's
I'm not convinced by much of what NASA claims to do, to be honest.
Indeed.
They seem to be the masters of CGI, that's for sure.
They very much are.
So, but still, the idea is sound. I say crashing something into something should divert its course.
Yeah, well, they proved it in Armageddon, didn't they?
Do you know what?
It's like real life imitates movies all the time, doesn't it?
You know what?
What, Ben?
Bruce Willis sacrificed himself for all of us.
I heard Bruce Willis isn't doing very well these days.
No, he's not well at all. He's had to retire from acting, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has.
He's got some kind of issue with his brain.
Yeah, I don't know what caused that.
No, well, I don't know what caused that. We don't know what.
No,
caused
we
that,
can't speculate.
We can't. Shall we move on from
Yeah,
the
let's move on.
asteroids?
Let's move on from
Where
the
shall we go
asteroids.
now?
Well, Shell. Royal Dutch Shell.
Yes.
Have done something that Elon Musk doesn't do, and they've withdrawn.
They have. We've got a Twitter headline here, and because the screens are not pulled up for the article, we will just go with the headline for now. But without explaining, which is explanation enough, Shell pulls out of 2 Irish offshore wind projects. Offshore wind is just about the most pointlessly expensive way to generate electricity. Only taxpayers' subsidies make it possible, says Steve Milley here, verified checkmark at Junk Science on Twitter.
Well, yeah, I mean, let's face it, offshore wind farms are a bit of a nightmare, because we've built loads around the UK, and half the time you've got to turn them off because it's too windy.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right.
And then half the time, well, not half the time, but near half the time, there's not enough wind.
Yeah.
So, and it costs a fortune to build these things on water, and it takes time, and their life expectancy is only 17 years.
So goddamn ugly too.
Oh yeah, and they kill a lot of birds.
Yep.
But the advantage when you build them on offshore, right, is you don't have stupid little ecological ornithologists going around collecting all the dead eagles and showing you them.
Well, yeah, that's true.
That's true.
But okay, I live near New Haven / Brighton, right? So there's a big stretch of sea from New Haven to Brighton, and they're building, or I think they're still currently building, but have built mostly one of the largest offshore wind farms in the world, if not the largest, right? It's ugly as fuck. Just
That's it. Yeah, I know. And our world-class leading wind fleet on a good day can maybe manage 18 to 20%. Maybe on a good day.
This net zero nonsense is just that. It's nonsense. It can't work without impoverishing us all.
John Redwood actually made a sensible tweet about it, didn't he?
Go for it.
Because he's... What?
Well, tell us what he said.
Yeah, well, he said that, net zero by 2030 is an unattainable dream because you need an infrastructure to hold it up. You need nuclear power, you need proper renewables, you need hydro, you need some kind of storage mechanism, whether it be battery or kinetic flywheel or whatever. But you need the technologies and the infrastructure there to provide power during the night or when it's not windy.
And obviously, going back to the story at hand, the company that's pulled out is Shell. Shell are, of course, one of the biggest oil companies on the planet, and they've seen the writing on the wall.
Well, yeah, I mean, and the other thing, see, the thing that gets me about this net zero crap, right, is that people seem to forget that plastics, which we still use in an awful lot of situations, and then we deliver stuff in plastic bottles and stuff that say eco-friendly on it. Now, do you know what's used in the manufacture of plastics?
Of course I do. It's oil, John.
Yeah, it is. And do you know what's used in the transport of plastics?
Oil, John.
Yeah, and do you know what's used to power the factories that make plastics? Fossil fuel?
Yeah. I can't quite put my finger on it.
Yeah, and then, I mean, everything runs on fossil fuel.
Yeah, it does.
So to switch an economy from something it's been using for 100 years as its primary energy source, which despite the most extreme warnings that it's all going to run out by the year 2000, by the year 2010, by the year 2020, it shows no signs of running out. No signs at all
whatsoever.
So why would you switch an economy from a proven known product to net zero when nobody else is? Because if we look at the big energy users in the world, we're talking about the US.
Yep.
They're not interested in net zero.
Nope.
India, definitely not interested in net zero.
China!
Definitely not interested in net zero. So you put those three countries together, and that's probably more than 50%, more than 50% of the total output of carbon in the world.
We're 1% here in the UK.
We are 1%. We make 1%. No difference. Now, and this is a bit of heresy, but does anything make a difference?
Well, when it comes to the well, let's face it, if Jacinda gets her way, we won't be allowed to even ask that question, John.
Well, yeah, I think it will come that we will not be able to question the science.
Shut up already. It's science.
On any platform that is capable of censoring you, and that includes YouTube, Facebook, Twitch. I think they'll all shut down. They'll all shut it down much that they did for something else.
Yeah, and it's a damn shame because free speech is so paramount. It's so important.
Free speech is dead, mate.
I know. Militant Mushroom says, without oil, they can kiss wind turbines goodbye. They need...
Oh, yeah, they can. Well, do you know how many gallons it takes per gearbox? It's something like 800 gallons per gearbox.
And that has to be changed every year as well.
Or is it 80? It's still a lot of oil,
It's a
right?
lot of
It's
oil.
a lot of oil. And that's the thing that goes on fire, because if they don't have enough oil or it leaks out, the gearbox will go on fire. And then you get a lovely, lovely scene, which
it's like a
burning
giant
firework.
It's like giant Catherine wheel, isn't it?
It is. It's quite good to watch.
I nearly burnt the studio down yesterday, didn't I?
Yeah, but let's not go into that.
No, it's got worse.
Oh, here he goes, fucking
Look
hell.
at that shit.
Oh, I mean, every opportunity. Oh, look at me, I burnt my handy. Right, moving on. Speaking of humans and their peccadillos, what's California done?
I don't know. What has California done?
California's making it legal to use your granny that you saved and then killed, right? So they're making it legal to use your granny as fertilizer for the plants, so you're not allowed to grow to eat. The whole thing's crazy, isn't it?
That's insane.
So you're now allowed to use humans as fertilizer.
Here you go. Next in California, eating corpses to fight climate change. Decomposing human remains can legally be used as compost from 2027 thanks to new California law aimed at tackling climate change.
The mind boggles, doesn't it?
It's Gavin Newsom, man. It's
right. So yeah, I know.
It's Gavin Newsom.
Right. So how it's like how do we stop people killing each other and just burying them in the back garden? How do we stop that now?
Because that's now legal, right?
Well, in 2027,
technically speaking, yeah.
In 2027 it will be. So I don't know how that's going to work, especially in a place like California where you've got drug gangs and things.
That is kind of cannibalism. It is kind of cannibalism.
Well, yeah, it is. Yeah.
You know, because you're eating stuff that has received nutrients from the remains of your dead relative.
Yeah.
Ish. Yeah. California's mental. They're. You know what? People go running from California, don't they?
Well, they do, and they put signs up saying, "Don't go to Texas.
Don't go to Texas."
They have guns, and they have school shootings there. And that's what they used as an advert to try and stop people leaving California.
You've got to remember, in California they have Silicon Valley, and if you want to talk about mass shootings, didn't that vegan woman whose channel got banned go and shoot up YouTube's headquarters?
Oh, I'm not going to say anything.
I mean, I'm not going to understand why YouTube didn't learn from this incident.
I'm not going to say anything.
But
this isn't something I can talk about. Not on YouTube.
No, it's not. But it did happen, and that's what we're reporting here. It did happen. A vegan woman who had her channels cancelled, her income destroyed. She went and did a shooting at YouTube's headquarters. Yeah. So it's not exactly like it's an isolated. Well, the idea of a mass shooting is isolated to Texas.
No, it's not. Saying. Of course, it's not. But that's the mass shooting. What I'm saying is. That's the mass shooting they chose to use on their advert and their billboards. They put that up to try and dissuade people.
It is quite disgusting, isn't it, really?
It is.
It is quite disgusting. Should we move on to old Sleepy Joe?
Yeah. Tell me about Sleepy Joe. What did Sleepy Joe do, Jackie?
I'm going to just find what Sleepy Joe did if you give me 2 seconds. I've completely lost him. In my list.
Christ.
Well, I don't know why. He's disappeared out of my list, John. I had it all ready to go and everything. You tell us.
That's twice now. Right, so Sleepy Joe asked where Jackie was, didn't he?
He did.
And the Jackie that we've able to discern that he's talking about is Jackie who died in a car accident. When?
Yeah, so in August. So I've got it here. I'll play it for you all. You can hear what Sleepy Joe says. In fact, John, I will share my audio with you quickly so that you've got it. There you go. You're going to have that now. So Joe Biden's, this is from Greg Price on Twitter. So here we go.
Representative Jackie, are you here? Where's Jackie? I didn't think she was going to be here. To help make this a reality. Representative
Jackie, are you here? Where's Jackie? She was going to be here. Jackie is Jackie Walorski, Republican/Independent representative in the House, who died in a car accident in August.
Finger on the pulse, Joe. Finger on the pulse.
The problem is, this isn't an isolated incident, is it? This is again and again and again and again. He's saying words that don't exist. He's shaking hands that don't exist. He's trying to walk outdoors that don't exist. He's got no idea where he is, what he's doing. They simply put him in front of an auto cue for the most part and say, read. And most of the time, he can't do that.
No. End quote. Repeat the line.
Yep. There we go. Representative Jackie. That's him going off script, right?
He's he has. He's gone off script.
Yeah.
The man is in cognitive decline, quite dramatically and quite obviously.
Dementia.
Yeah,
he has
quite
dementia.
Obviously.
He needs to be in a fucking old folks' home.
Yeah, he does.
I'm just saying. He shouldn't be doing this anymore. And am I saying Kamala Harris should be president?
Oh, no.
But Joe is in, as you said, cognitive decline.
Yeah,
He's
I mean,
not with it.
Literally, the man is a puppet.
He is, and where?
So who is the puppet master?
Well, that is the question, isn't it? And
is it Obama? Is it Hillary? Or is it his Joint Chief of Staff?
Well, we're hearing that that Hillary Clinton could indeed be running again in 2024, yes. And will be the nominee.
Indeed, we are.
And
so that could shape up for a repeat of 2016, couldn't it?
And depending on who does the voting machines, we'll see who wins. I'm not making any allegations. Nope. I'm not making any allegations.
It's sad, though, when a country like the United States of America, which declares itself a freedom-loving democracy, has a poorer voting record than third world countries now.
Well, the thing is, they're not really a democracy, are they? They're a constitutional republic, and that's not democracy.
Okay. Yeah, well, it's not. It's not.
You're
right. You are right.
I am. And what have we got next, John?
Oh, John Cleese just stood up for JK.
Yes, he has. Here's a tweet from J.K. Rowling. I agree with Elizabeth Hummel, even if this makes me uncaring, hateful, and a brutal old dinosaur. That's from a tweet. He's quote tweeted J.K. Rowling here, saying laws that allow males into women's prisons are anti-progressive and anti-women. If you self-identify as a progressive or a liberal, this is an issue you should care about deeply because women right now are being hurt.
There you go. I think it's quite straightforward, and I mean it's nice to see some celebrities come out and speak what their mind is, other than lines they've been given.
You know what? I want to give a quick shout out to Graham Linehan, the creator of Father Ted, because he has been he was banned from social media for trying to stick up for women. Now, I hear a lot of people tell me, and Sonia Poulton said the same to me, and in fact it's something that I reiterate. We never left the left. The left left us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's so straightforward to say women's spaces are women's spaces for female and female-bodied people. Men's spaces are men's spaces for males and male-bodied people. And we should respect that sexes would like to keep those spaces separate. Okay? Women, unfortunately, do feel unsafe a lot of the time with males within their personal spaces, such as we saw with Primark. The girl that said, I support all of this, but I felt so with males around me, and you've got to think, this is not progressive, this is regressive. This is, if you want to talk about patriarchy, surely men fausting themselves into women's spaces is indeed an example of such a thing. I'm just saying.
Yeah, it probably is. Anyway, I'd like to give a shout out. And please bear with me.
Okay, right? I'm bearing.
I'd like to give a shout out to John Bow and Oracle Films for continuing the good work that we started as individuals and jointly. And got punished for it quite dramatically, and the loss of channels and Twitter feeds and Facebook and whatever. So yeah, I mean they've carried on our good work, I think, and they've published something that basically we were shouting from the rooftops for the last 2 years. But
I published interview after interview with damaged people.
Yeah, we just don't have the spread and the voice to do that. But other people can, as always, be perfectly free to steal our ideals and promote yourself on our backs, because that's what we're here for. We're just the little guys.
Yeah, well, exactly. But
thank
you know
you.
what? But
and I'd like to thank them for thanking us for all the good work that we've done to promote them.
Well, yeah, well, the thing is, right? Like you said, I don't. If people are with a voice and a reach able to do what we were doing, all power to them, right? Because I thought that what we were doing 18 months ago, releasing interviews with damaged people in their own words, was very, very important work. And
Careful now.
Like you said, we got severely punished for it. I got severely punished for it, especially. I got my channel taken away for just letting people have their own voice. And I'm hoping that this stays. It's a well-made, well-produced documentary. And like John said, and without sarcasm and without further, I am glad that people are getting to use their voices, tell their stories, and have them spread in a wide-ranging way. Because that's what we wanted to do. That's what we were trying to do. And yeah, we got shut down, or I especially got shut down for it. So
That was about you.
what did you say?
Nothing.
Well, John, you are allowed to have a YouTube channel. I'm not.
What's happened
Nothing.
to the sound?
No, nothing.
Oh, right. Okay. That was
Nothing.
good. Right. Okay. Moving on, shall we?
Where should we move to? You tell me where we're going.
Let's go to the New York Post.
Right, you're gonna have to tell. I'm gonna have
And
to.
Mummy. Let's go to Mummy.
Okay, give me a second. I'm gonna have to resize the screen as I told you. So, let's go to the New York Post. Yes.
Yes. So we're going to go to the New York Post, where this woman apparently didn't realise that her husband had died. Okay, and kept him in the bed. She said he didn't move much at the best of times.
Right.
Yes. Have you done? There's only
Well,
so much I can say. For fuck's sake.
well, hold on a minute because you've given me
Yeah,
a
I think
different.
we need to completely rethink this format because it's just not
You've
working.
just given me a New York. You've given me a different New York.
I've given
Post
you it
story.
exactly in the order that I fucking gave it to you earlier on today.
Yes, but you've given me a completely different New York Post story.
No, I haven't. I've given you exactly in the order that I gave it to you today. What one are you putting up? Are you putting up the Waste Collection Service?
That's
which is
the
the
only
next
one I've got.
No, it's not.
Go and look at your
No,
bloody
here
list.
we are having a spat.
Go and look at your bloody list.
I'm looking at my list right fucking now.
Because you've given me a Twitter link, not a New York Post link.
It doesn't matter. We're still going to the New York. It says twitter.com NY Post.
Jesus Christ. So yes.
Holy fuck. Professionalism. Sorry, people. Yeah. And let's just wrap it up then, shall we?
No, let's not. So yeah, widow had hid husband's mummified corpse in home for 18 months. Didn't think he died. So let's go to the New York Post and give the story. Here we go. I've got the story for you here, John. Here we go. So, a grieving widow kept the mummified corpse of her husband hidden inside her home for 18 months and used a cleaning disinfectant to keep his flesh from rotting. So she used a cleaning disinfectant to keep his flesh from rotting, but didn't know he died.
Yeah, of course she knew he died.
Yeah.
She's at it. She's obviously been trying to keep collecting on his pension or something like that.
Absolutely.
So, but I mean, hey.
He was only in a coma and kept his corpse concealed in a room at their home. So she said he was in a coma. She purportedly used Dettol, a popular disinfectant and antiseptic cleaning product, to wipe down the body, which stopped bacteria from growing on the skin. Yeah. We have pictures.
Yeah, I know. There he is.
There he is. Look. There he is. And this is in Uttar Pradesh, by the way.
He's just sleeping.
Do you know what I find really hilarious about this picture? Is down in the bottom right corner here, we've just got someone with an iPhone.
Yeah, take that selfie. That's ridiculous, isn't it?
The widow also allegedly gave her husband's corpse regular oil massages and sprinkled holy water known as Gangaja over his body in an attempt to awaken him from the coma. An air conditioning unit was also kept running in the room 24 hours a day, with neighbours failing to notice any odour emanating from the home. The Free Press Journal reports that other family members, including Vamish's parents and brothers, were also involved in trying to preserve the corpse. So this goes deeper, John.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's a fucking tax scam. It's a scam for money. That's all it is.
Oh my word! So
It's just but this is India in a nutshell.
Yep. Officials reported Vimesh's skin had turned black from the unusual treatment, likening the process to that which performed on Egyptian mummies. His body was removed from the home last week before being cremated on Friday. It's reported that his widow and other family members will not face criminal charges over their actions. So there you go.
So they got away with it. There you
Got
go.
away with it. So I've seen something in the chat there. Ogum the Bold says social care founder got
Yeah.
absorbed into his chair after 2 years. DWP found him fit
I
for
tell
work.
you what, you've seen nothing until you've been to a death in the bath that's been left for a month.
No, thank you.
That's basically just soup.
No, thank you. That's enough of that.
And you know when you're going into it, because as soon as you crack that letterbox, the stench comes out like a sledgehammer.
Right.
And goes bop.
Right. That's painted a picture for us, John. You've painted a picture. Shall we
Right.
return to the New York Post?
Yes, well, let's do that. And now we go to Texas, and this is some carry on to be going on in Texas, because Texas is meant to be like, the gun carrying capital of the world, is it not?
It is.
So apparently the residents have been getting pissed off with people stealing their Amazon packages from their porches. Now, one, why are Amazon leaving parcels on the porch? I don't think that's acceptable practice.
I agree.
Right. Secondly, people are stealing the parcels. Fine. So this couple thought, we'll teach them a lesson. So they filled a box full of their son's dirty diapers,
Yep.
nappies for those in the UK, and left it out there tantalisingly for the would-be box stealers.
So here we go.
Who duly came along and stole the box
So
and
parcel
then
thieves.
returned.
I was going to say, we got the article here. Parcel thieves fought back against a Texas couple who tricked them into stealing dirty diapers by spraying their house with cow manure. The Austin-based parents were among numerous victims who had become annoyed with a gang constantly stealing deliveries from their porches, so set a booby trap using their toddler's waste. However, it backfired once the masked bandits realised they had a poop-filled package on their hands. And before I continue with this, I will criticise Amazon myself, actually, because we've got a little alleyway down the side of our house, and oftentimes they have fucking left shit down there. They just leave it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know. I mean, it's like when they put it in your bin.
Yeah.
That could be dangerous.
Yep.
What if you put your bin out between them delivering it and
Exactly.
then coming to pick it up?
Well, exactly.
Yeah.
However, it backfired. So 30 minutes later, they came back with a giant bag of cow manure. The victim, only identified as Gabriella, told Austin station KXAM. They spread that all over our front porch and on our cars on the driveway.
So it's at this point, right? At this point, not after all the thefts and stuff. It's at this point they decide to contact the police. But why are we only contacting the police now?
Well, do you know what? I just find it so brilliant. That was the straw that broke the camel's back. I called police, filed a report, and now there's a detective on the case.
Why wouldn't you call the police when people are stealing your packages? This is what I don't understand.
Residents say the fecal fiasco was the culmination of escalating tensions over the last month after several homeowners in the neighbourhood noticed missing packages. Gabriella told
the police.
Well, exactly. Gabriella told KXAN at least a dozen households have been stolen from. The thieves have been caught on numerous doorbell cameras and tracked to the same black Chevy Suburban with no plates. But that has little for cops to go off. Another victim...
Well, you know what? Here's a start for 10. See if you see a Chevy Suburban driving about with no plates on. Pull it over.
Well... So what do? Get to the end of the road. Quick, take the plates off, boys. We drive along the road now.
Well, they'll do what I used to do on my bike. Put the plate on with Velcro.
Another victim, Brittany Walker, told the Post that she was nursing her baby when she saw a brazen thief swiping a large package from her entryway in broad daylight. I just ran out and said, I have a baby, and they looked at me and just laughed, Walker said, adding the bandits still took her package. Austin
You know what would have been probably more effective if she'd walked out and said, I have a gun.
Well, yeah, and I mean, this is Austin, Texas, so
that's what. Well,
that's
yeah,
probably
but Austin,
true.
Austin's a liberal. Austin's a liberal city.
Well, yeah, perhaps, but
Austin's a lost cause. Austin is the California of Texas. But it is, Austin's just too liberal.
Yeah, well, I will say this, right? I will say this. It is brazen to be doing this in broad daylight, just rocking up to somebody's house, obviously face on display, and just nicking their shit.
Mm-hmm.
People who are doing that have no fear of being caught. Put it that way.
Yeah.
They have no fear whatsoever of being caught. And what does that tell you? Does that tell you maybe someone's getting a kickback from the Amazon packages? Maybe.
Oh, possibly.
You never know. You never
know. You never know what's going on there. It's like DPD here.
Oh my God!
They lose an incredible amount of telephones and things, don't they?
Oh yeah, and they're the ones that are contracted to all the telephone and big companies and things like that.
I don't know why they're contracted, because they lose a shitload of them.
They lose a bunch of iPhones and Galaxy Notes, laptops. They lose everything, don't they, John?
Yeah, they're good at that. They're good at that, mate.
Good old DPD. Right. Before we get out of here, a bit of housekeeping. If you're enjoying what we're doing, enjoying the show, enjoying the daily shows, then please consider helping us out, help us grow, and help us make it better for you by giving us a little bit of a donation, tiny little donation, monthly at patreon.com/chasingdissent, subscribestar.com/chasingdissent, or
co-fi.com/chasingdissent. It doesn't need to be a tiny donation. It can be bigger.
That's true.
That's true.
But we would really appreciate it, and it helps us put on the show, keep the lights on in here, because that's getting very, very expensive. Now, we understand that times are getting tough for everybody, and you can't afford it, but we will endeavour to make a free-to-consume, fantastic show for you at least 5 days a week. And if you haven't already, then please go to our second channel called 100 Acre Swamp. Or 100 Acre Swamp. We've changed the name of it, and that's where we talk about movies, TV shows. We go out and do things. I'm taking my kids abroad for the first time in 5 years at the end of next week, and there'll be videos from it all over that channel. It'll be a good time. And then on the 10th of October, what are we doing, John?
We'll be back on Rise with Sonia Poulton.
Yes, and I will be live from a little Wild West now. And but still, it will be good. We will enjoy it. It will be fun. But the main perk that you get is you get to join us on a Wednesday and a Sunday night around 9 PM for what we like to call the after party. What do we do there, John?
We have a laugh.
We have a laugh.
We have a chat.
We have a chat.
We have a gas.
We have a gas. We did it last night, didn't we?
We did.
We did indeed, and some people came along. We had a laugh, we had a gas, we had a chat, and then it lasted.
And it's open to all our supporters, regardless of amount that you donate or do not.
Yeah, and
sorry, I'll rephrase that. It's open to all our supporters, regardless of how much you donate.
But yeah, no, we would really appreciate the support, and obviously a like on the show, a share of the show, if you could do that, we would really appreciate helping grow. But otherwise, John.
And with that, I'd like to thank one and all for coming along to this 130 episodes of Chasing Dissent Live. From me, it's good afternoon. Ben?
Bye for now.
Got time for this evening, so it's good night from me.
And it's good night from him. Good night.
Good night.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, Mama. Good night, Daddy.
Stop playing with my bust!
Good night, everybody.
Good night, children. Good night, Daddy.
You're a what?
A pianist!
Mwah! Good night, everybody.
You have been a delightful audience to talk. Good night. Thank you.
Oh, my bottom hurts. Good night, everybody.
Good night, Elizabeth.
Good night, John Boy. Good night, Kim Bob.
Oh, I did love that hamster so. I took it into bed with me every night, you know.
Good night, everybody.
I think, ladies and gentlemen, I think I have to go now. I've been standing here for a very long time. I think the end of the show must have come and gone.
There you go. That's our solar system. You forgot your anus.
Good night, everybody.
Thank you for listening. You've been very nice to work.
Good night, Jim Bob.
Good night, Jim Bob.